Alright, so, hello again everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of
Streamy Streams with TJ, where yet again we're diving into your deepest, darkest fantasies and making another D&D character?
So, um, due to one, the fact that R2 mentioned that he really liked this last time and wanted to see this again, and the fact that this is actually really simple for me to stream and is a ton of fun, we are going to make another character. Because if you guys were counting, I said I had 4 I needed to make at the beginning of last time, and now I have 3 I need to make. So we will be streaming another character creation. I won't have to explain quite as much, so we might be able to build 2 complete characters. But yeah, so I have my lovely PHB, which I he's so nice. He's so nice. So yeah. So we're gonna be. I have to figure out what's the next character we have to create. Do. I think we made a ranger before. Hi, ranger. Do I get to make? Oh, cool. Today we get to make a rogue. I'm gonna start with the rogue. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I love rogues. Hey, Klex, what's up, man? Wizard? You want me to make a wizard? I haven't made a wizard yet, so I could do that. I also have not made a sorcerer yet. So we have those as well. I will let you guys pick. I have a rogue, a sorcerer, and a wizard are the 3 classes. I have not built one yet. So what what do you guys want to see me make? Because obviously, I'm going to switch over to my actual screen that's got the thingy on it. So there's a character sheet you guys are familiar with. So yeah, let me know. Again, wizard, rogue, and sorcerer. Which one would you like? No job. Didn't you used to have one? Am I that far out of? Has it been that long since we spoke, Klex? For those of you that don't know, Klex is not a rogue. Really? Not a rogue? Don't like rogues, Klex? Gotcha. All right, so I guess we're going wizard. I am not a fan of wizards in general, not because I have any sort of issue with them or anything like that. I am simply not a fan of wizards because they take forever to make. Dude, man, that sucks. Uh, Shoot me a Facebook message after this is done. Just because I don't want to, get too personal on the stream. Um, but yeah, so the only reason they take so long to make is because you have to pick their spells, and depending on the spell list you have to pick from, that can take a long time. So yes, we are making a wizard. So wizards are intelligence-based casters. So let's go back to our races. Let's start with a race. Well, I guess we can start by just putting in this is going to be a level 1 wizard. Okay. So, let's figure out a race. We've got a dwarf, an elf. Let me go back to this. Halfling, a human, which I like humans, they're fun. A dragonborn, a gnome, a half elf, a half orc, or a tiefling. So what do you guys like? Drow. Let's see. I don't think Drow have increased intelligence. I know they have increased. Shit! Go away! Bug, you're evil. You need to die. Sorry, there's like a fly that is like nuts, and it keeps like it's not like a normal fly where it'll just land on something. It like dive bombs me, and it's annoying the hell out of me. Go away, fly. Yes, Drow are a playable race. All right, so yeah, Drow get increased charisma, and then elves get, I think it's increases in Dex. Is that what they get? Yeah. So it'd be Dex and charisma. So not technically an ideal class. Uh, yeah. Thanks, R2. Really, really, Klex? That's where we're gonna go. So anyway, we could make a Drow wizard. Again, the nice thing about D&D 5th edition is you can build technically non-ideal classes and they can still rock. So if you guys want a Drow wizard, um, due to the fact that, well, I guess it depends on the. I was about to say, because Drow in general, uh, their magic users tend to be clerics in the Forgotten Realms. So, and we built an elf last time. Let's move away from elves. You know, no offense to elves, but so let's see what else. Other than an elf, what do you guys want? Dragonborn would be kind of cool for a wizard. A gnome. What do gnomes get? Gnomes get an increase to intelligence. We could go a gnome. Because there's a couple, what is this? Huh, interesting. Or a half elf. Half elves are fun. I like half elves. Tiefling or Dragonborn. You know what? I have not made a Tiefling in forever and a day, and I know they're charisma based, but I love. What do you get? Oh, and you actually get an increase to intelligence too. Let's make a Tiefling. Um, yes, the PHB is amazing and awesome. For 5th edition. This is always +2 at level 1. We don't care about inspiration. So we're gonna go 15. What do I want second skill to be? If we go 14, 15, 14. Let's go 13, 12, 10. Let's make the stereotypical weak wizard. -1, +1, +1. I get a +1 to intelligence, being a tiefling, so that brings me up to +3. 0 for wisdom. And I get a +2 to charisma, so that brings me up here. So +3. Very charismatic wizard. So that's good there. Alright, now I have to go back to the wizard section. So we're going to start with spellcasting ability. So I'm actually go. Yeah, I think you might be able to get it for a little bit cheaper off Amazon now. I know the retail value is $50 for the PHB. But yeah, every so often, a lot of times on Amazon, you can find it for cheaper than that. I think I've seen people get them for like $35. Um, I know when they first printed, I think the first printing sold pretty quickly. Like the stores that my friendly local game store sold out of the PHB within a couple of weeks. Wizard. Spellcasting ability. Not wisdom. Intelligence. Spell save DC is 13 plus 3 plus 2. No, it's not. It's 8 plus 3 plus 2. So it's 13. That's a plus 5. Okay. So, spellbook. So, for wizards, they get what's called a spellbook. Yeah, I was actually surprised that they don't have a PDF version of the PHB. Um, but to be perfectly honest, some I'm so happy with my just regular PHB that I don't even want the uh, I I can't think at all right now. A PDF copy of it. So let's go to the spell list. So I don't want bard spells. I want wizard spells. You're a wizard, Harry. All right. So wizards get 3 cantrips. If you guys are unfamiliar with what cantrips are, in like 3rd edition and Pathfinder in that, cantrips were basically just super weak spells. And you had a daily limit on them. In 5th edition, cantrips are at will spells. You can cast them as many times as you want. You never run out. They're just the stuff you can always do. About half of them don't have battle applications. They are simply for role playing. And I always like to have at least 1 or 2 role playing spells, and then at least 1 battle cantrip. Now, the cool thing about wizards is as they get higher in levels, they learn more cantrips. By the time they reach 10th level, they actually learn 2 more cantrips. So when I played, for those of you who don't know, I played my first game of Pathfinder in this when I went to Fantasticon, and I played a cleric in Pathfinder, and the cantrips were you had a daily limit of cantrips and a daily limit of first level spells, and I know in 3.5 you had a limit of cantrips. I like your thinking. So, cantrips. I am going to simply read the entire cantrip list, and I will read it slowly. Any that you guys want a little bit more explanation on, let me know. Or if you want me to choose one of these cantrips, just say like pick cantrip name. So it starts out with Acid Splash, Blade Ward, Chill Touch, Dancing Lights, Firebolt, Friends, Light, Mage Hand, which is one of my absolute favorite ones, Mending, Message, Minor Illusion, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Ray of Frost, Shocking Grasp, and True Strike. Yeah, as soon as I saw Friends, I'm like, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Friends. Starts with an F. That's an E, F, R. Find traps, fireball. Fireball's a fun spell. Where do we go? Friends, entrapment cantrip. Ha! So basically, what it does, it gives you advantage in all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. Um, yeah, so basically, I can just kind of pick someone, and they really, really like me. with that one. So that's kind of cool. I'm definitely putting Mage Hand on there because I love Mage Hand. Kind of, very similar to Charm. For those of you guys that don't know what Advantage is, it's one of the big things that I love about 5th edition. Advantage means whatever you're rolling, if you have advantage on it, you roll 2d20s and take the higher of the two rolls. If you have disadvantage, you roll 2d20s and take the lower of the two rolls. First time I played 5th edition D&D, back when it was called D&D Next, at Gen Con last year, uh, we had a guy that had advantage on an attack roll, rolled 2 1s. It was awesome. We laughed at him a lot. So we've definitely got that. You guys are saying Shocking Grasp. I'm not a big fan of Shocking Grasp because that forces my wizard to get close enough to touch somebody. I tend to prefer, at least at lower levels, uh, to have like a further away spell. The other thing that's cool about cantrips in 5th edition is they level with you. I think it's either level 3 or level 5. So Ray of Frost. For those of you familiar with Ray of Frost from 3rd edition or 3.5, um, Ray of Frost did 1d4 damage, and at level 1, I think you could use it 4 times. You had 4 cantrips that you could cast. It was kind of a worthless spell because 1d4 damage really isn't all that great. 5th edition, it does 1d8 damage, and as you level up, it does even more. Once you hit 5, it does 2d8 damage. I think at like 12, it does 3d8 damage. So all of the battle cantrips are actually useful and make it so that your wizard can actually do something after it casts some of its all of its daily spells. No, I didn't want to do that. I want to do this one. Kind of. It's I've always viewed it more of like you hit them with a freeze ray, but Ice Cube is kind of the same thing. What else? What else did you guys say? Message, really? Message? What does message do? I've forgotten what message does. I think it's just you get to write something. Message. Starts with an M. Come on. Magic weapon. Message. Oh, you point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. It's walkie-talkies. It's magical walkie-talkies that require line of sight. So, yeah, magical walkie-talkies that require line of sight is message. I'm going to. Oh, Avalon retweeted me. Thank you, Avalon Rising. That makes me feel special. All right, so let me get back to this and this. So we could do that. What other ones? All right, let's pick. Let us pick a damaging one. I'm a huge fan of Firebolt. If nothing else, then I like fire. Like fire's my thing. Love fire. The monk I made has fire powers. Like I love fire. Um, Firebolt does fire damage, and it's a 1d10 uh, ranged attack. Acid Splash. You want to know about Acid Splash? That is the first spell in the book. You hurl a bubble of acid. Choose one creature within range, or choose 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other. Target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage. So this one technically can be an AoE. So Acid Splash would be kind of cool. What do you guys think? Firebolt or Acid Splash? I will let you decide. I need a drink. I need a drink, okay? I should probably look to see how Firebolt levels. Like I said, it's one of my favorite things. Where are you? Fireball. Firebolt. 2d10, 3d10, 4d10. It eventually gets up to 4d10 damage for Firebolt. Acid Splash, I think, is just 2d6, 3d6, 4d6. So, yeah, I don't really drink. Well, R2 is digging Firebolt. What about you, Klex? So, Acid Splash, the one advantage of Acid Splash is it has the AoE effect where you can hit two people, but they have to be right. They have to be right next to each other. Uh, Firebolt, you can hit one person, but it does almost twice the damage. So I think just because I like it too. All right. So with the fact that we get 3 cantrips, we basically get to figure out do we want to take another role-playing cantrip? Um, Acid, at least this specific one, doesn't do anything but do damage. It doesn't lower stats or lower resistance or anything like that. It's just a straight up attack. I think there's some other acid spells that do more than just burn, but because it's a cantrip, it just really doesn't do that much. So yeah, do you guys want... Prestidigitation has been one of my favorite spells because it's basically kind of a catch-all spell. You can create something out of thin air, and it can be just about anything. The only kind of limitations to it... Oh! What kind of damage does it do? Oh, it is acid damage. Yeah, and technically acid can kill trolls too, so... Yeah. How about this? I mean, Mage Hand is enough of a role playing spell that I can do a billion things with. Let's just do both. All right, so those are our 3 cantrips. Now I can learn 6 first level spells, uh, and that's one of the nice things about wizards is they generally tend to have a lot more spells they know in their spell books than they can ever use. So a lot of the time, wizards can be built to be fairly versatile. Like you'll just learn a bunch of different spells, and then every morning you can choose which spells you prepare. So if you're going through like an icy wasteland, you prepare a bunch of fire spells. If you're going through the elemental plane of fire, maybe you forget some of your fire spells and get something else. So, as far as first level spells, this is a really long list. So we'll lead it slowly and let you guys figure out which ones you want to find out more about. So we have first level wizard spells: Alarm, Burning Hands, Charm Person, Chromatic Orb, Color Spray, Comprehend Language, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat, easy for me to say, False Life, Featherfall, Find Familiar, Fog Cloud, Grease, Identify, Illusory Script, Jump, Longstrider, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Protection from Evil and Good, Ray of Sickness, Shield, Silent Image, Sleep, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Tensor's Floating Disc, Thunderwave, which is one of my players' favorite spells, Unseen Servant, and Witch Bolt. So Klex wants to know about Color Spray. Color Spray is not nearly as broken as it used to be. Like in 3.5, and I think in Pathfinder is the same way. Color Spray, it's an area of effect thing that in the old version, if you failed the save, um, you were blinded, confused, like it just hit you with like 6 or 7 different statuses that were almost impossible to roll out of. So it could literally incapacitate an entire group of enemies and make them really easy to kill. Now it's not quite as crazy awesome, but still fairly useful. Color Spray. A dazzling array of flashing color lights springs from your hand. Roll 6d10. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you are affected in ascending order of their current hit points. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by this spell is blinded until the spell ends. So, yes, basically, you're out of game dependent on HD. I don't know what you're talking about, Klex. Please explain. So yeah, Color Spray was kind of badass. Now it basically just blinds them, which is still really, really good. Because anyone that's blinded has disadvantage on attack rolls and all these other stuff. So it's kind of useful, not quite as useful as it used to be. Detect Magic is literally just you're out again. Oh, depending on the hit dice. That makes sense. Um, Detect Magic is kind of a catch-all spell where if you want it detects magic. It tends to be a role-playing spell a lot because you'll go into somewhere and you'll see like an altar or something that's been desecrated. Cast Detect Magic on it, you can find out what spells are in effect, things like that. Really, really useful in certain situations. Completely useless in other ones. So it's got its uses, and creative players and thinking players tend to get a lot of use out of it. Mage Armor basically gives you an armor class of 13 plus your AC, so or plus your dex. I mean, 13 plus your dex. So it's basically like wearing, I think it's scale mail or scale mail, yeah, or dragon leather armor. So it's nice, especially if you're kind of mage that gets hit, if you're kind of stepping back and staying away from the battle. Uh, Again, it raises your armor class. Magic Missile is instant damage. You cast. Yes, it does. You cast at level 1, it's 3 magic missiles that automatically hit, and they all do 1d4 plus 1 damage. So that one is nice. I generally always have magic missiles on my wizards because it's just a useful damage spell, and it never misses. So Mage Armor seems to be something that you guys like. We have Mage Armor. I'm going to put Magic Missile on there because I love Magic Missile. I'm pretty sure I just spelled missile wrong. No, I didn't. That's kind of cool. Sleep or Grease. Sleep is unbelievably useful in 5th edition if you use it correctly. It works the same way as Color Spray, where you roll a bunch of dice, and then that tells you how many hit points you can affect, and then any, I think it's creature, or is it, well, let me go look. I'm actually going to look up the sleep spell, because I've had players use it, and it's incredibly effective when you use it. When you're smart about how you use it. Sacred Flame. I love Sacred Flame. Sleep, 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 sleep. All right. Roll 5d8. Creatures within 20 feet of a point of your choosing within are affected in ascending order from their current hit points. Each creature affected by this spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage, or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake. So yeah, I want to cast Magic Missile at the darkness. So yeah, sleep can be unbelievably effective. I had a guy cast sleep, and because I can't roll worth shit, like I am an absolutely horrendous uh, roller, which as a DM makes me my player's favorite DM because none of my creatures can roll higher than like a 6. Um, but yeah, it was actually a really tough fight that they all happened to be grouped together ish, and he cast sleep and put the entire I think all but like 2 of them to sleep, and they just picked them off one by one, and it was really well done. So sleep is nice. Grease is basically you make a spot of grease on the floor. I think it can be ignited by fire. Let me look again because I've forgotten. But mostly it makes it difficult for people to move. Grease. Okay. Slick grease covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on a point within range and turns into difficult terrain for the duration. When the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. A creature that enters the area or ends its turns there must also succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. So all it does is not knocks people over. They don't even let you uh, set fire to it anymore. Um, so yeah, again, can be useful. I don't think I've ever used grease. Um, so it doesn't specifically say it's flammable in here. So were I the dungeon master, I would probably rule that since it doesn't say you can, no. I love milk. All right, so what other spells do you guys like? Trying to think of some other ones. Shield is kind of fun. Tensor's floating disc is always useful. Witch Bolt is an interesting one. Witch Bolt, it's actually a warlock spell, but wizards get to cast it too. You cast it on a target, and if you hit, until you break concentration, you can just do the same damage again and again and again. You can just choose to use your action to do the damage again. No rolls, no nothing. So all you have to do is hit once, and it just keeps going until the creature dies or you lose concentration. Or I think it goes on for a minute. It's either 1 minute or 10 minutes. Which each round of combat is 6 seconds. So that's 10 rounds of damage. So Witch Bolt is a lot of fun. Most warlocks will take it. Witch Bolt is a ranged attack. I think it's got 100-foot range, so it's pretty useful. What else do we have on here? Well, due to the fact that, yeah, with 5th edition, anything you would really get from an identify spell, you can also get from studying the object for like an hour. So it's not quite as useful as it used to be. I'm going to put Detect Magic in there because we talked about it before and I like it. Let's put Sleep in there. We've got 2 more spells we can know, guys. What else do you guys want? Right now we only have 1 attacking spell. So I would probably say getting at least 1 or 2 more attacking spells would be good. I know I tend to be a big fan of Burning Hands, just because, again, it's an area of effect spell, and I like fire. So that would probably be one of my recommendations. What else do they have? Expeditious Retreat can be really, really good. It makes you move fast. True Strike. True Strike is a cantrip. Let's put Burning Hands on there. So it's not a first level spell. So one more, guys. Grease, Fog Cloud, Find Familiar. What do you guys like? One more spell, and then we are almost done with that. Sorry, Klex, you're fired. I'm gonna flip over here real quick. And then I'm going to go here, and here, and here. Fog. Which one was Fog? Was it Fog Cloud, or is it just Fog? Fog Cloud. Another one that can be really, really useful if you are clever. Let me look it up real quick. Fog Cloud. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners, and its area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until a wind of moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it. So, Find Familiar basically lets you get a familiar. In a combat situation, I believe familiars you can actually cast from their square. Find Familiar. How is it basic? In combat, it rolls its own initiative and acts on its own turn. A familiar can't attack, but it can take other actions as normal. When your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of any special senses that the familiar has. During this time, you are deaf and blind with regards to your own senses. How to reappear, you can blah blah blah. Finally, when you cast a spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast the spell. So basically, kind of, familiars themselves can actually, like, summons nature's allies, a lot of times can actually fight and stuff like that. Familiars can't, but they're great for role-playing, and again, really creative, players. Like, I've got a player who had a Raven familiar that would use it to scout ahead. He would use it for a lot of different things, and it's really useful. And any touch-based attacks you can cast through your familiar, so that your wizard doesn't have to get up and close. And if the familiar drops to 0 hit points, you can just resummon it later. So yeah. So I like Find Familiar. If you guys don't have a problem with that, I will put Find Familiar. Alright, so those are our 6 spells. Let's go back to the wizard. That's a sorcerer. I need to go a little further for the wizard. Class features. Cantrips. Arcane Recovery. Alright, cool. So, let us go back up here. I should probably check. First level, I have 2 first level slots. So, the other interesting thing, like, this is how on here you can designate which ones are prepared or not. I can actually prepare. How many spells can I prepare in a day? Ritual casting, spellcasting focus, preparing. Intelligent modifier plus your wizard level. So I can technically prepare 4 spells a day. And right now I have 2 first level spells I can cast per day. So kind of cool. The cool thing about this is when it, let's say I did that. Those are the 4 spells that I prepared for today. I can actually cast any of them. Like I can cast Mage Armor and Magic Missile each once. I can cast Magic Missile twice. Anything like that, you basically can mix and match with your slots and the spells that you prepare. So that's kind of useful. You don't have to prepare certain spells in certain slots like you used to have to do in 3rd edition. And I think Pathfinder's the same way. But I might be wrong about that. Pathfinder may use this kind of system. I didn't do a ton of spellcasting. The cleric I played was kind of worthless. He was great for role-playing, and that was about it. So we've got that. So that's really the big things. I should pick... so I get bonuses. I'm going to go back up here and get skills. So I get bonuses on intelligence saving throws. What else do I get? And wisdom saving throws. So that's kind of using. All right. 6 plus con is my hit points. So 6 plus con is going to be 7 hit points. At level 1, I get a 1d6 damage dice, and I get one of those. Arcana. Alright, so skills, we get to choose 2 from Arcana, History, Insight, Investigation, Medicine, and Religion. Yeah, and that's what I thought, Klex, because that's how it was in 3rd and 3.5. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that because, like I said, I like the flexibility that you get with, well, I'm going to prepare, these 4 spells. Yeah, wizards used to be super squishy. Now they're just slightly squishy. So, what do you guys want for skills? Again, Arcana, History, Insight, Investigation, Medicine, and Religion. And this is where almost all of those are going to be. So, which ones do you guys like? Do. Wizards used to be just about worthless until they hit about 4th or 5th level. And then they became uber powerful. Investigation, we can do that. So for whatever reason, whoever built this PDF over at Wizards linked these 2 slots. So anytime I click Investigation, it will also click Medicine and vice versa. Don't know why. But that doesn't mean we have to actually click Medicine. So we get to pick one more. Arcana tends to be fairly typical for Wizards to take. History is another one that's really useful for Wizards because they tend to have high intelligence scores anyways. So what do you guys want? My drink. Any other ones? Otherwise, I think I'm just going to go with Arcana because I like wizard with knowledge of the arcane makes sense. So we'll do that. We need to pick a background for this guy. Oh, we need to pick weapons too. What do I get? Equipment. A quarterstaff or a dagger. Alright, so we're going to go down here. I'm definitely giving him a quarterstaff. Attack bonus is going to be +1 because it's strength plus proficiency bonus. And if I remember right, it's a 1d6. Let me look real quick. I've forgotten. Tools. Quarterstaff. Yep, it's 1d6 bludgeoning. But it's a versatile weapon. So I think what I'm going to do with it, just because technically it would be 1d6 -1, it's versatile, so I'm going to put this in as two-handed. That's way too small. I'm just going to put two-handed there. So that gives me a 1d8, and that's bludgeoning. Bludge. All right, so we're going to do that. Component pouch or an arcane focus. Technically, the quarterstaff can be used as an arcane focus, so I am going to. Well, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that as. All right, so we're gonna go. Yeah, if you were to use it as a quote-unquote double weapon, it would be technically 1d6 per end. Um, but I think you actually need, in 5th edition, to use it as a double weapon, you need a feat to do that. So quarterstaff. Let's go component pouch, which can actually count as an arcane focus. Let's go scholars pack. And a spell book. So that's everything that I get for being a wizard. It is a simple weapon. Let me bring up the tools real quick and I'll give you everything on it. There's armor. Well, that went a little bit too far. Alright, so that's a simple melee. It's a 1d6 bludgeoning. And yeah, they don't technically have double weapons in here. So yeah, in order to use something as a double weapon, you have to get a specific feat that lets you use it as a double weapon. Yeah, in 5th edition, two weapon. Well, let me look. No, I don't think so. I'm gonna look at the rules for two weapon fighting real quick. Surprise, reaction, movement. Two weapon fighting. Yeah. Yeah, in 5th, they just don't let you use double weapons without a feat, so. So you have that. Backgrounds. We need backgrounds. Let's go to the backgrounds. So there are certain backgrounds that tend to lend themselves to wizards. I happen to be a big believer in the idea that you never ever need to follow the actual things that would fit best. Like I love making weird characters that don't make a whole lot of sense. So I think I read these to you before on my last stream, but you guys probably don't remember them all from over a week ago. So let's do it again. We have the acolyte, the charlatan, the criminal, the entertainer, the folk hero, the guild artisan, the hermit, the noble, the outlander, the sage, the sailor, the soldier, and the urchin. So, what would you guys like this tiefling wizard to be? And remember, he's got a really high charisma score, so he could definitely be someone that relies on their charm and persuasive abilities a lot. The Sage. Do do do. Sage, you spent years of learning the lore of the multiverse. You scoured manuscripts, studied scrolls, and listened to the greatest experts on the subjects that interest you. Your efforts have made you a master in your field of study. It's a bookworm. To be 100% blunt, it's a bookworm. Um, yeah, a lot of book learning. I've built sages where the kind of backstory I built for the characters, they've never actually been in the real world, so they're really fun to play as kind of one of those people that comes up as like, oh, well, I know how this should go. Theoretically, it should do this, 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 and this, punch in the face. Yeah, Sage tends to be paired with wizards a lot. So, do you guys want to just go with Sage for the background? Armor class. Your armor class is going to be 11 because you get nothing. Oh, initiative is +1. Speed as a tiefling is going to be 30. Is it 30 or is it 35? Let's go look real quick. I kind of forgot to fill that out. Tiefling, tiefling, tiefling. I love tieflings. They're so much fun. For a while, I was obsessed with tieflings. Like, every character I would create would be a tiefling. Alright, speed 30. Yep, that's what I thought. Alright, so we are going to be a sage. We can actually pick a specialty. I should probably do this. So, background, specialty. Come back to that. We're going to go class, arcane, recovery. And that's the only thing they have. You won't have feats for a little while, but I like to put it in there. Arcane recovery is something that wizards can do during a short rest. If they've burned some of their spell slots, they can recover up to half of their wizard level rounded up um, spell slots. So for a level 1 wizard, they can cast 2 spells, take a short rest, and recover one of their spell slots, which is kind of useful. You can only do it once per day, and then you have to take a long rest before you can do it again. But again, it extends their usefulness. So now we need to pick specialty. So we have alchemist, astronomer, discredited academic, librarian, professor, researcher, wizard's apprentice, and scribe. So what do you want our specialty to be? And one of the things I can do is I can go here. Researcher is their special background feature. Professor, I can do that. And then I can do this. Let's do it this way. Background specialty, professor, researcher. There we go. Okay, so now we get to pick a personality trait, an ideal, a bond, or a flaw. So here's some personality traits to pick from. I use polysyllabic words that convey the impression of great erudition. That's one of them. Number 2, I've read every book in the world's greatest libraries, or I like to boast that I have. Number 3, I'm used to helping out those who aren't as smart as I am, and I patiently explain anything and everything to others. 4, there's nothing I like more than a good mystery. 5, I'm willing to listen to every side of an argument before I make my own judgment. 6, I speak slowly when talking to idiots, which almost everyone is compared to me. Number 7, I am horribly, horribly awkward in social situations. Number 8, I'm convinced that people are always trying to steal my secrets. So which one of those personality traits do you guys like? I'm going to say background. We can put Sage Professor. Alignment. We can pick the alignment after we pick our personality traits. I really like the I speak slowly when talking to. Everyone's trying to steal my secrets, not really my stuff. So it's a little bit more based on the idea of, you know, he is wand of alarm for all my stuff. I think I can go with that. Make a paranoid wizard. All right, so ideals. Knowledge. The path to power and self-improvement is through knowledge. Beauty. What is beautiful points us beyond itself towards what is true. Logic. Emotions must not cloud our logical thinking. No limits. Nothing should fetter the infinite possibility inherent in all existence. Power. Knowledge is the path to power and domination. And self-improvement. The goal of a life of study is the betterment of oneself. So, what would you guys like as far as an ideal? I'm going to go here. Professor Spork. Gotcha. Helps if I spell the darn thing right. Alright. Bonds. Number 1, it is my duty to protect my students. Number 2, I have an ancient text that holds terrible secrets that must not fall into the wrong hands. 3, I work to preserve a library, university, scriptorium, or monastery. 4, my life's work is a series of tomes related to a specific field of lore. 5, I've been searching my whole life for the answer to a certain question. 6, I sold my soul for knowledge. I hope to do great deeds and win it back. So, what do you guys like for a bond? Bond. James Bond. Haha, I'm so funny. Doo-doo. And anyone that has not piped up, you are more than welcome to. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Anyone that would like to, you make the bond. I actually kind of like the I have an ancient text, because that kind of goes along with I'm convinced that people are always trying to steal my secrets, and the ancient text could have all those secrets. So I think I'm going to go with that. There we go. And then the last one is a flaw. Number 1, I am easily distracted by the promise of information. Number 2, most people scream and run away when they see a demon. I stop and take notes on its anatomy. 3, unlocking an ancient mystery is worth the price of a civilization. 4, I overlook obvious solutions in favor of complicated ones, which is a lot of fun. 5, I speak without really thinking through my words, invariably insulting others. That is an incredibly fun one. However, it wouldn't really fit with the fact that he has a 16 charisma, but that one's a ton of fun to play. Um, and number 6, I can't keep a secret to save my life or anyone else's, which would make an incredibly hilarious character, seen as I'm terrified that people are trying to steal my secrets, but I give them away without thinking because I can't keep a secret. I think that would be kind of hilarious. I have to do that. Because I think, and that makes you definitely a chaotic neutral. So even though he's in, see, the logic thing is the only thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because the other 3 kind of fit. Let's go back to the ideal, and maybe look at a different one. Because that doesn't. Well, no, I think we could. Well, I will present it to you guys. So, do you think that you could play a very logical, emotionless wizard with a 16 charisma and oh, I forgot to look at I get extra skills. Sage, Arcana, and History. So we'll do History. I already have Arcana from that, so let's pick another one from our old one. Which let's do Insight, because Insight's really useful, especially if they're going to be using Charisma a lot. So, and I can go ahead and fill these in real quick. -1, -1, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. This is +5, +5, +5. There we go. Well, I guess we will keep that then. Chaotic neutral, very logical, crazy person. So I like chaotic neutral characters. I think they're a lot of fun. Does being a sage give me any extra equipment? So let's go here. I get a few more components because of a wizard. Or a sage. Bottle of black ink. Quill. Small knife. Letter from a dead colleague. Common clothes. And belt. Pouch. And 10 gold pieces. Alright. And I actually get to pick 2 extra languages. So he already knows, let's go, languages. He already knows common, infernal from being a tiefling. Do I have friends? Yes. S. John's 1010, which is a bizarre question. Hadn't realized the trolls had come out yet, but whatever. Common Infernal, let's go Elvish, and Dwarven. Well, guys, I will show you something nifty that I can do. Bye, S. Johns. So, for those of you that don't know, S. Johns is a troll. S. Johns has been banned because, oh crap, because he's a dip. Give me a second here to get this back up. Let's go pop out. And I totally just cleared my chat because I did that. There we go. Now we have to see if that's working again. It's not. So I've got to take chat and just... Well, here, I'm going to try something. I'm going to do this. That works. There we go. Reset it. Works well. So, yes. Dipshits will simply be removed. Easy enough. Alright, so... That is the end of that. We need a name for this tiefling. Because I think I have everything else on here that we need to play. Yes, not just everything. So, wow, that's the first time I've been trolled on Twitch. I gotta say, I feel kind of good about it. So, what do we want to name this tiefling? Tieflings in general tend to either have infernal names or what are called virtue names, which are things like, you know, art, hope, torment, you know, ideals and things like that. Or they tend to have like infernal names like Amnon, Baracus, stuff like that. So, what do you guys want to name this tiefling? Anybody? Anybody at all? I'm gonna bring this back up. So, since the last tiefling I made, Professor Spork, I dig it. I'll do that. I totally spelled Professor wrong. I am not a good speller. So, this is Professor Spork, the tiefling wizard, that is very logical, but is very paranoid that people are trying to always steal his secrets. And he has an ancient text that holds terrible secrets, mostly involving pudding and its many uses. And he can't keep a secret to save his life or anyone else's. So, this is our wizard. And now I'm going to go save as. We're going to go, this is a level 1. We're going to go... Alright, so we have that saved as the right file there. So we have that. Professor Spork is all done. Cool. So just like last week, did you guys want to, seeing as we're just about ready to wrap this up, did you guys want to see one of my other higher level characters? Um, since we built a tiefling, I can actually show you a tiefling warlock I built who's level 6, if you guys want. Does that sound good to you? I'm going to actually go, where are you? Alright, so, what do you guys think? Okay, so let's, I have to clear this out. I'm going to close that down. I'm going to try something. See if I just open this up. It'll automatically do it for me because it's awesome. Yeah. Alright, so, stop it. This is Torment, my... Oh, he's a level 6. I kind of forgot to change that. Level 6. Yeah, okay. Good. Alright. So here's my level 6 Tiefling Warlock. He's an urchin. This is one of my favorite things, his flaws. It's not stealing if I need it more than someone else. Charisma-based caster, fairly high intelligence, real high dexterity. He has a couple daggers that he uses, but the cool thing about it is he is... you get to pick a pact boon when you reach, I think it's level 3. I'm actually going to flip over to the Warlock section. Ranger, Sorcerer, Warlock. So yeah, you get to pick a pact boon. The pact boon that I picked is what's called the Pact of the Blade, which means that my pact that I made with, what did I do in this one? He did a Fiend. Yeah, he did a, this one's a Fiend. So Infernal Pact, for those of you that are 4th edition. So my pact with my specific demon can manifest itself as a weapon. I can choose whatever weapon I want. I'm proficient with it while I wield it, and it counts as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damages. So yeah, so I get a packed weapon, which for this one would probably be a rapier, since he's super dex based, which would be very cool. And I think I'm actually gonna put that in here, and it would be, what is that? +3, yep, +3, but it's a 1d6 +3 piercing. Because I happen to be a big fan of rapiers in general. I think they're cool. So you can do that. He has a bunch of these things called invocations, which mold his spells. So the 3 ones he has are Agonizing Blast, which, when you cast Eldritch Blast, add your Charisma modifier to the damage it deals on a hit. It's already 1d10 damage. Now it's 1d10 +3 damage, so that's really useful. Armor of Shadows means I can cast Mage Armor on myself at will without expending a spell slot or material components. So I can just automatically give myself Mage Armor. So I can rush right into the middle of battle and attack. And then Thirsting Blade, which starts with a T. This is not that difficult. There we go. You can attack with your packed weapon twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. So anytime I want to, I can run out there, attack twice with my packed blade, and do awesome shit. So I love hex blades. It was one of the classes in 4th edition that I just fell in love with, and just absolutely adore uh, the idea of a weapon wielding caster. So that's kind of how I build this guy. How many spell slots do they have? Oh, they have a total of 2 spell slots, um, which can cast any of the spells that they know. Um, Warlocks are really weird in that they have all these different spells that they can all automatically cast. They don't have to prepare them. Um, but they tend to they have very low spell slots, so they tend to be a lot of cantrips. Um, and their Eldritch Invocations, which are those things that let me do cool stuff, um, really kind of customize the Warlock um, to how they play. So it's kind of cool. I like it. Um, so yeah, that's everything. I love Misty Step. It's a teleportation move. Excuse me. So that's a lot of fun. Um, +6 spell attack bonus, spell CT. So it's a fun guy. I like this character. Um, so yeah, that is all for that. I'm gonna switch back to this screen. So I've been doing this for about an hour 15. So I'm going to end it here. It's actually a little after midnight here. So yeah, I am going to end my stream tonight. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate R2 and Klex for helping me out with the character. Thanks for everyone else that was watching. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, this is probably going to be the last time, at least for a little bit, that I stream character creation. Mostly because I've done it for 2 weeks in a row, and I normally don't like to do anything much longer than maybe 2-3 weeks, unless it's like a game that I'm continuing a story in. Generally, I tend to stream video games, everything from old Super Nintendo games all the way up to like Neverwinter is something that I've streamed quite a few different times. Always really really popular. So yeah, if you guys like this, you want to see me do other things, do some other streaming in that, please follow me here on Twitch. You can also find me on Twitter. I'm at Trainer Jody. Um, if you missed any of this, you can always catch it on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/trainerjody. And that way you can catch up on anything else. You can, if you're just now tuning in, you can watch the moronic troll that came in to try and make his pathetic life a little bit better. And I just banned him after 2 comments. So that was fun. Um, so yeah, if you guys want to catch the rest of this, it's always on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, if you guys have specific things that you want me to stream, leave it in the comments below. I am all about streaming the stuff that you guys want to see. The reason I streamed this tonight was R2 said that he really liked it, and this is actually, compared to some of the other streams that I do, this is actually a pretty simple setup for me, so it was something I could do really quick. So leave comments below for any other games or other things that you want to see me stream. If I can do it, I definitely will. Otherwise, again, that's all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow on my YouTube channel for some random vlogging. All right, bye-bye.